So away in the final race of today's proceedings, Brockley Langford there in the black at the front, placing this one in 72, 73s. And it's India Weir, the fastest athlete in the field on PB. She's got a 9:12 on her card from last season. She tucks right in behind the pace, and it's Lucy Jones there in the red and black of Herne Hill, takes up second. It's worth saying, Matt, India Weir, she's out of the University of Washington. She's raced all the big ones last season, Pac-12, Big Ten, Stanford, Penn Relay. She's done them all. And she's got some serious experience on these boards of the indoor, and I think that really, really benefits those athletes when they come back to British soil.
Yeah, it does, and I think as well, the races they've been in, you talk about, the likes of been at University of Washington, the Pac-12, the Big Ten, and the Penn Relays, the caliber of athlete she is up against when she toes the line. I think when you come to, a Sheffield BMC like this, there's nothing that she hasn't experienced before, and there's nothing, she won't be capable of sort of managing out here. So she's controlling things at the moment, and the rest of them filing in behind, and this is what you often get in the 3000. We saw in the men's race, they just hug the rail. Can they find the shortest line around this circuit? And just basically, Lloyd, isn't it, for a large part, you've got to find your rhythm. You're right on that red line. It starts to get hard within the first 800, but it doesn't tend to get much worse. You've just got to trust you've got the strength to just hold on.
Yeah, I think part of it is experience, having confidence in your training from the winter. But then I think you just got to have a bit of self-belief and hope that you can not blow up. I think that if you're constantly sat there waiting for the pain to come, then it's definitely going to come, and it's going to hit harder than it would. So athletes like India Weir, super experienced, loads of experience in indoors, but also, as you say, running races of caliber that she would have done in the States. This is probably pretty nice environment for her to be in, and that's no surprises why she's out in front. She wants clear running ahead of her, and hopefully she can be rewarded with a strong start to the season, because at the moment she's 5-6 metres ahead of the rest of the field.
Yeah, and I think looking at this field, I think she will certainly stay there. Bryony Gunn, Olivia Forrest is just sort of at the rear of the field, just struggling. That 9:20 lifetime best absolutely dominated those youth ranks over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. She's the English schools champion. She's the English champion, mini marathon champion, and schools international. You name it, Olivia Forrest has won. But surprisingly, I thought she would have been able to sort of go with this pace with some of these women at the moment, but struggling a little bit early on. But yeah, you mentioned Weir as well. I think when you've been to the NCAAs and you've got indoor seasons and you've done them routinely, and that's part of your, I guess, your training and the way that you like to plan your year, I think it is tempting to always just come back and compete indoors and help you prepare for outdoors with a little bit more detail and a little better execution.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the athletes that do go to scholarships over in the States do benefit when they come back, where they can continue that routine as they've had it for the last 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 years of their collegiate career, where they've used the indoors as part of their makeup, and they actually train for it. They actually prioritise it. Whereas it's quite common over here for distance runners, unless you're gunning for a British rest or you're trying to make a major champs or win a medal at maybe a European indoors, we almost use the indoors as a platform for our outdoors. Whereas the American system is, no, the indoors is just as important as the outdoors. It's just as important for the school that we're running for and the college you're running for. So I think India Weir will be an athlete that looks at the indoors and thinks, do you know what, I can actually do something on the surface, not just turn up.
You make a very good point. Someone who is going under the radar a little bit, Lucy Jones of Herne Hill. You see her just sitting in third. She's had a fine winter. She won leg one at Mansfield, and Lloyd, we know that's a bit of a title in itself. It's an unofficial title, isn't it? And she's really going from strength to strength, the Herne Hill athlete, as she just slots her way up into second place. So keep an eye on her. It's almost worth ignoring that 9:47 lifetime best, because the way she's performed this winter, she's going to obliterate that mark. And, she's showing shape, and the result she's getting is looking something in that 9:20, 9:15 realm, perhaps even quicker than that. So she comes up on the shoulder of Weir, who continues to just stretch things along, but I think relaxing a little bit now through the mid stages of this women's 3000.
Yeah, she's had a big winter. She's been running the Surrey League cross country, which is where you earn your stripes in that part of the world. It's very fierce, very competitive racing. You get athletes that are in the teens in those races that are that are national level runners. So she's done a lot of good hard running there. She ran well at the Battersea podium as well. She ran 16:12 there, so she's got some serious endurance in the legs. It's just whether she can have the turnover that maybe someone like India Weir has got. You know, Lucy Jones, she's 2:15 800-metre runner last year. You know, how's that going to fare against athletes that maybe can nick inside 2:10, which is, you might not think it's important over a 3K, but when it comes down to the business end, having that turnover where you can drop a 64, 65 last lap for these ladies, that's different. That's different operation for these athletes. So we'll see as they come down this time. 5:32, 5:33 on the clock. No change in the front of the order. Still Lucy Jones just tucked on the shoulder there of India Weir.
Yeah, and I wonder, I mean, we saw Vinnie Magnuson have a terrific last kilometre or so, didn't we? Last 1200 and really pour it on. And I wonder if, you know, Lucy Jones is going to make a move at some point over the next few laps. You can see Saskia Millard looking sort of itching to just move up. And I think at this stage in the 3K, everyone starts to get a little antsy, and you think, you know, if you're feeling good, you're like, oh, I should be working harder, I should be moving faster. But when you're in contention like this and there's 4 or 5 of you, I think you've got to purely just start to focus on, all right, where am I in the race? Can I win this race? Because if I win this race, I'm going to speed off some really, really stiff opposition as well. So if I'm the likes of Jones or Neve Kearney as well, the athlete in the green shorts in 3rd place, I think you just got to bide your time, not make too many moves, not look to hassle one another, and just wait and wait and wait until things really start to kick off, because they're into their final kilometre now.
Yeah, 6:10 at 2K. We're looking at 9:15 on the clock. I tell you what, every athlete bar India Weir will be absolutely made up with this pace job from India Weir. She's just dragging these ladies all through to lifetime bests if they can continue over the final K. You know, some of these athletes, Saskia Millard, she's a 9:17 athlete, but Lucy Jones at 9:47, she could be looking at a 9:14, 9:15 today. So great job being done up front by India Weir. And while she's not the pacer, she's going to obviously want to run well herself. These ladies will shake her around and say thank you very much after this race. As we approach the final stages, 7:08 on the clock. Not a lot of running left to be done, and there's what, you can throw a blanket over 5 of them, Matt. It's anyone's race at the moment. For me, Saskia Millard is just starting to make her way to the front of this race for the final kick.
Yeah, I tell you what, great to see so many women contesting out, battling it out over 3,000 here in Sheffield. Emily Parker, look out for her, the Loughborough student. Bucks steeplechase champion, working with Carl Bennett up there, so she won't be done yet. Surprisingly, Lucy Jones just slipping back a little bit. Saskia Millard has looked like she's wanted to move and really start her long kick for home every single lap that's gone by, really, but she's still happy to sit on the shoulder of Weir at this stage. And will anyone actually challenge Weir, or are they just going to battle each other for the minor places?
Someone's going to have to take it to her. She's the fastest in the field. She's the one to beat. So it's Weir down now, down to through the line. 8:02 on the clock. 400 metres left to run. And it's now Parker, the Loughborough athlete, for the first time in the race, gets right up to the front of this race, onto the shoulder. There's no change in the order up the front. It's still Weir from Parker. Saskia Millard there. She's in 3rd. Lucy Jones just hanging on to the back of these. And it's these 4 now starting to stretch away. But Weir still looks like she's got a lot of running in those legs. It's going to be interesting to see whether any of these closing kicks can be fatal.
You know, if Weir wins this, it's been a mightily impressive performance, because the way she has dictated and held off all challenges. But I said no one's really challenged her. Here goes Parker now. This is, you know, Buck's winning performance running at the moment. She's stolen and marched in. Lucy Jones, look at this aggressive kick. She's had a fine winter and she's bided her time, while the other 3 have done battle throughout the previous laps. Jones has been quiet. She's lurked in behind, and she's, goodness me, as she put on the afterburners, as she pulls cleared in of Parker and the rest of the field. And she shocked them all, really, Lloyd, and she shocked us as well. Lucy Jones of Herne Hill continues to impress through 2024 and into 2025. 9:11 on the clock, and the rest of them being rewarded with some massive lifetime bests. No bigger than Jones, who I think has chopped off 35 seconds, Lloyd, of her PB.
I've got to say, Matt, I've got to say, that's probably the race of the day for me. I think Lucy Jones must have heard me talking about how she might not have the kick at the end of the race, and said, all right, I'll show you. Because the turn of speed there, I mean, wow, you don't see that in the Surrey League. That was incredible. She rocketed down that back straight, didn't she? And she had the decision to make. Do I sit and wait, or do I just keep going past? And I think as fans of the sport, we always say, just go past. if you're catching someone up so quickly, just carry on your momentum and go straight past and make it a deadly move. And she did. And yes, 2 thumbs up from Lucy Jones. She'll be absolutely buzzing with that. And 9:11.50. That's some serious running domestically for the first race indoors of the season.
It's racing for you, you know. I felt like she was the only one kind of really racing. You know, the others were they just wanted to push when they felt good and steal a march. But sometimes you got to play to your strengths, and I think, you know, she clearly did have the best last 200, hence what we just saw. But look at her here. Yeah, just this was early on, wasn't it? Through the sort of first 1500 or so, and this is where I think, you know, we started to look at Weir and Millard and Parker as the ones to watch. So 400 to go. You know, Parker steals a march, but then Jones, out of nowhere, just shifts up a gear, and I wonder if that was you know, that was a conscious effort and a tactic to just bide her time and sort of replicate what may well happen at the British Championships indoors and what's going to be required of her if she wants to finish, you know, in that top 8, top 5 even, or even contest for a medal.
It's a big run further back as well from Saskia Millard. You know, I know she's out of shot here. She lost a bit of ground in that last lap. You can just see her coming down the home straight here, but that would be a lifetime best for her. And after not racing in 2024, to come back and open up your campaign with a personal best, she's going to be made up with that. And I think there's a lot to be said with how much that can help an athlete, not just physically but mentally, coming in and running that well. The confidence you're going to gain from it. You know, she could potentially go on to Bucks and perform well there if she's still at the University of Birmingham. But I just think for these girls, whilst Indy Weir didn't win, she'll be happy with the way that, you know, she executed 3/4 of that race, and just, yeah, big PBs. That's what you want to see at this point of the year.